Hello, we'll talk today about two architects. We'll start with Clorindo Testa, an Italian-Argentinian architect, born in 1923, but we'll read a little bit about him. So Clorindo Manuel Jose Testa was born on December 10th, 1923. Well, today is, this year is his centennial. He was born exactly 100 years ago and died on April 11th, 2013. So 10 years ago. Was an Italian-Argentine architect and artist. You know, architect and artist, not architect and businessman or architect and homo economicus and so on, or architect and bureaucrat, but architect and artist. Testa was one of the leaders of the Argentine rationalist movement and one of the pioneers of the brutalist movement in Argentina. His style as an architect has always been influenced by his artistic nature, with projects dominated by the effects of color, tension, metaphors, and plasticity. These aspects are well illustrated in his designs for the Biblioteca Nacional de la República Argentina, which you are going to see, and the Banco de Londres building in Buenos Aires, which you are also going to see. He was a member of the international jury which chose Carlos Ott as the architect for the Opera Bastille in Paris. Testa won the Conex Award, the most prestigious award for visual arts in Argentina, in 1982, 1992, and 2012. He died aged 89 in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Testa was born in Benevento, near Naples, in Italy. He graduated from the Faculty of Architecture at the Universidad de Buenos Aires in 1948. Testa came to architecture via naval engineering and then civil engineering. So he was an engineer. After 2 years stay in Europe, he also became an excellent painter. Not bad, an engineer who became an excellent painter and also a very accomplished architect. This was the man, and I even like the way he looks, like a serious, intense man, as a good architect should be, but also playful in his architecture, and the playfulness of the true artist is for all to see. The Bank of London and South America in Buenos Aires, a work which is considered brutalist, but a paradox is that brutalist architecture often, behind the appearance of being so-called brutalist, shows sensitivity. And this was often the case with so-called brutalist architecture. This is an excellent building for a function that, is part of today's world, the bank, which almost replaced the church. But the creativity of the architect is very obvious. Sculpturalness, color, the vigor of concrete. Yes, concrete pollutes, but at that time there wasn't such a concern with, there wasn't any concern, in fact, with polluting effects of employing concrete. But the building is impressive, and both inside and outside. So, Italians are usually good at design, and so is Mr. Testa, or was. It's an organism, it's a mechanism that is cultural, that is vivacious, that is, convincing architecturally and inspiring, because a good building, in my opinion, does inspire. I don't know if it inspires you to put your money into this bank, but it inspires you towards, living more intensely, living more openly, being more energetic. This is the effect of art in general and architecture in particular. So bravo to Mr. Testa. I'm going to show also a library by him. So, you know, a different kind of function. And this was built more than 50 years ago, maybe more than 60 years ago. So, you know, the relevance of the building is still obvious, even aesthetically. Now, the National Library of Argentina in Buenos Aires, its complete name is Mariano Moreno National Library, and it was designed by Clorindo Testa plus Francisco Bullrich and Alicia Cazzaniga, but the main architect was Clorindo Testa. And this is the building, the National Library of Argentina, monumental, audacious. If we believe in books as transmitters of knowledge and impulses towards living richly our lives, then the building has the correct, you know, ethos. It has the, you know, the building is communicating this energy which the book should give to the reader. And it's about the courage of living, you know, because in at the end of the day, we are all confronted with malaise, with apathy, with being tired, losing hope. And the building which contains books, meaning a library, uh, better expresses what best books express themselves, and that is, you know, about the worth of life and the you know uh, the encouragement to live intensely and genuinely, and not to play games with life and with your time. In other words, to live, Live. So this is the library designed by Mr. Testa and his collaborators. You see, it's not an embellished building. It's not, it doesn't have plaster, and you know, it doesn't have makeup. It's raw. But it is raw because it quested for truth. Some people might want some hidden truth. Well, you know, it depends. But I think a good building should have a certain level of sincerity, and this seems to be a sincere building, which doesn't need, again, makeup. Mr. Testa, who yesterday was 100 years old, would have been 100 years old, but he did live a long life. He died at 89. Interesting things happening here at the corner, you know, a problematization of the corner of the building, which dramatizes the corner. Sorry, I don't know what happened here. It has dignity, it has vigor, it is a building with energy, and as such, I think is an efficient channel of connecting, you know, the writers of the books contained within the building with the readers of the same books. Okay, and now we'll go to the second architect we'll talk about today.